Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at DC Dark Legion and we're going to talk about Combat Cycle, the second most important game mode in the game. We're going to talk about teams, we're going to talk about placement. There's a lot to discuss here, so let's get into it. All right, and welcome back. Before I get into this, I just want to say thank you. I want to thank you all for all of the support, for watching the videos, for providing feedback, adding additional tips in the comment section below in the different videos, the interaction on streams, the official Discord, as well as my Discord. You have all been absolutely amazing, and I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to this game finally hitting global and then continuing to support this game post-global. There's a lot of cool stuff in this game, and I'm excited just to see how it continues to progress. So thank you all. Again, I truly appreciate you. So let's talk about Combat Cycle. I have recorded this video so many different times, and it is long. I apologize for that. Do not let the length of this video scare you away. I have a full example of a Devastator battle at the end of the video. If you want to just jump to it, you can. I'll put a timestamp in the description below as well. All right, so there's only a few points to make, but a lot to talk about. So the reason why this is the second most important game mode, first obviously being the story, excelling and going through the story, unlocking the different cities, which then allows you to be able to control more and more production buildings. Those buildings help you gain resources faster, which you truly and sorely need in this game, because as you get further in the game, things are super expensive. So the reason why Combat Cycle is number 2 is because you get so many rewards and resources through Combat Cycle. Now, they've changed the rotation up a little bit, so we don't know what the new rotation looks like. But currently today with Merciless, you get a couple different fragments, right? You get wall fragments and anvil fragments. The wall fragments for your basic bleed summoning. The anvil fragments specifically for your hyper time tracker summoning. So that's your Superman and Joker currently. Deathstroke coming up if you're watching this much later than whatever is in that hyper time tracker. And then you get mother boxes here, which is just a general summoning pool where you get shards for characters as well as resources and things like that. The bleed is really important because you get legacy pieces, your weapons and stuff from there as well. So a lot of great stuff in this one here. In other battles, there's only 2 bosses, Merciless and Devastator. In other battles, you'll get like AC/DC shards, which is what's needed to level up your force trees, which are your skill trees for each character, as well as leveling up your legacy pieces, your weapons. Cellular restorative, which I swear is the foundation of almost everything that you craft in this game. So you want to make sure that you do well in here. You want to hit this mode every single day. You want to make sure to do more and more damage every single time you come back so that you claim as many rewards that you can from the reward track and eventually max it out. Even if you don't care about ranking, you want the rewards. So let's talk about kind of how you build your team. The first thing I would suggest is going into the rankings and taking a look at the top teams here. Now, this is server 100. This is the original server. So you're going to see a lot of high-level teams, like almost 4 million right here, scoring 18 million in Combat Cycle. What this is going to do, though, is tell you, especially for those of you in later servers, what the end game, or I would say this is more mid-late game, what characters are doing well and what's consistent, right? So let's talk about characters that are consistent. There's 3 that you see in almost every single team. I won't say meta, but I will say that they are the base of almost every team, and that's going to be Catwoman, Two-Face, and Ivy. So let's talk about why. Let me jump on over into their kits. The reason why Catwoman is so good, and she is phenomenal, Combat Cycle is really the best game mode for her. So if we take a look at, let's see, this one here, the 3rd skill here in almost every character is going to show a tag and show what the benefits of those tags are, right? So increases dodge by 12%. Awesome. At the start of battle, Catwoman gains 1 stack of 3% dodge up for each Gotham villain. So one of the reasons why Two-Face and Ivy are in there is because they add dodge to Catwoman, turning her into kind of a pseudo tank, dodging a lot of those physical attacks. All right, and then the other one is this one here. She stealthily maneuvers behind an enemy doing physical damage equal to a certain percentage of her attacks. So that's how you want to build her, physical damage and attack. 15% stealing 15% of the target's attack for 5 seconds. The amount of attack stolen cannot exceed 15% of her own attack. So you definitely want to build her attack. Her stealing that attack, reducing the damage, her being able to dodge a lot makes her absolutely phenomenal in combat cycle. When we go ahead and we take a look at Two-Face, he's just all-out damage. He's AoE damage, doing a ton of damage here. Also, target spiritual defense reduction. That all doesn't really help here. In this one specifically, probably come in a little bit later. Again, more damage. Again, more damage with some bleed as well, which is why he's so good. And then just some more damage. He's just all-out damage, and he does a ton of it. Ivy. The reason why Ivy is good as well, not only for the Gotham villains, but she does do some decent damage. And she also has healing. So her healing is based off her attack. So as you build her attack, she's doing more healing, but she's also doing more damage, which is super helpful as well. So that's really what she's there for, right? She's your healer, and she does quite a bit of healing as well. So if I go down here, we'll go into combat cycle. Go back to rankings here. You can get to a couple different ways. This is my team down here. I did 2.6 million with this team. So as you can see, I got my main 3. I've got GA and GL here as well. You can see the other 2 is kind of really a toss-up for who people prefer. You do see Green Lantern quite a bit in here. You see GA quite a bit in here as well. Some people, Nightwing is amazing. I don't have Nightwing, unfortunately. Let's talk about why GL is so good, and then we're going to get into the team placements. GL, why is he good? Obviously, he's got healing, but the cool thing here is 40% of excess healing is converted into shield. So he provides shields, so there's some additional survivability there. But also this ability here, a damage reduction field, right? Anybody within that field, in that energy field, lasts for 20 seconds, which is a long time. Anybody within that range is going to get a damage reduction of 19%, which is huge. Now, I don't have him on my Server 102 account, but I have him here, so let's talk about placement. Placement is key. I have not noticed placement to be as big of a deal with Merciless as it is with Devastator, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So placement, when we take a look at this here, the reason why I have Green Lantern up front and not in back is because of that field, that energy field, damage reduction energy field. So I put him up front so that he's close to the boss, so that the melee characters that are close to the boss are going to take advantage of that damage reduction field. I've got Catwoman here. Sometimes I'll put her here, but she works pretty good here. She'll run up to the front, right to the boss, do the melee damage, and be able to take advantage of that damage reduction. And then I've just got my healer over here and my 2 damage healers up there. Again, placement to me, I haven't found as critical here. If you found something as far as placement that works really, really well and you've played around with, definitely share in the comment section below so that everybody benefits. So that's how that works for Merciless. I won't run through a full example here because the video is long enough. I'm going to switch on over to my Server 102 account. I don't have Green Lantern over there. I do have Dr. Fate, who is absolutely awesome. I'm going to show you my setup there with Devastator. And then again, that Devastator battle is at the end of this video if you want to take a look at it. So just 1 second. All right, so here we are with my newer account. You can see I am 13 here on this one. DC Gamer is who I go by over here. And I scored 1 million with this team here. Again, you see the 3 main characters. You see Catwoman, Ivy, and Two-Face. You can see them all over in the other teams here as well. One thing that I learned on this, I took a lot of the learnings from that first account, my main account, into this one. And one thing that I was a little proud of is everything that I've learned, I've been able to do things more efficiently here. And if you take a look at the gap between the top player and me, it's just 2.7 million versus 1 million, so I'm not too far behind. I would say since they've got a Catwoman here at max stars, max gold stars, that's as far as it goes right now. You've also got Batgirl and Ivy here, almost max stars. I would say they're probably a pay-to-play, and against me being 100% free-to-play, I'm not too far behind, which is good. I think that's a good call-out for this game, that it is not pay to win at all. Pay to play. If you want to rank, you're obviously going to put a little bit of money into it. If you don't care about ranking and you want the rewards, that's what you really want to focus on. So let's take a look at my team here. So my placement here, the reason why I'm showing my placement against Merciless here is, again, I didn't really find that it mattered much. And I don't have Green Lantern for that energy reduction field, but I do have Dr. Fate, again, who's absolutely awesome. He provides shields, which really helps the survivability of the team. Let's switch on over to my Devastator setup. All right, so here we are. Here's Devastator. A few things to call out for this one and why I have things set up the way that I have them. Devastator first, the pathing for Devastator. If he wipes out your melee fighters here, he's going to go towards Ivy here, take out Ivy, and then he's going to go up here and take out my Two-Face. The reason why I have them where they are is because of that pathing. I have my damage dealer up here to do as much damage as for as long as possible while he takes everybody out, if he takes everybody out. The way that I have this set up here, he doesn't always. So obviously you have Catwoman going to do a ton of damage here. Dr. Fate is going to come forward. He gets within melee range of the boss. And then obviously you have Harley, who's a melee fighter, who's going to jump up there as well. So you got 3 melee fighters around Devastator. I have found that that has increased my survivability because Devastator isn't focused on any one melee. They all share a lot of the damage, so they tend to last longer, if not through the entire battle. Whenever I swap out Harley for Green Arrow back here, I've only got 2 melee there. Almost all the time he takes them both out. Then he's going to take Ivy out, then Green Arrow, and then he's going to take out Two-Face. So I keep Harley in there. Harley is better in Merciless than she is here, but she still helps me with that damage. So what happens is after all of my melee are taken out, then Ivy's taken out, Two-Face again in the battle as long as possible to do as much damage as possible. Helps me get that higher score. So that's why I have things placed where they are. The last thing I want to point out as far as damage is gearing. You want to make sure that you gear appropriately. For example, I did a test recently on my Catwoman. Let me switch on over to her. All right, so here's my gear for Catwoman. Now I have her all in Starwear, so I've got attack and I've got physical penetration because as you saw, she does physical damage, so she benefits from physical penetration. She also, all of her attacks are based on attack. The amount of her damage is based on how much attack that she has. And then that stealing the attack of the boss is based on how much attack she has as well. So what I did is previously I had 2 pieces of Starwear and I had 2 pieces of Holt Cyberwear, which gave me plus 8% attack on both. So I had plus 16% attack. I did a test between that and just having all Starwear with physical penetration plus 10%. When I had the 16% attack, I was doing anywhere from the low 400s to mid 400,000 damage through those whole battles. I did 10 battles. I probably did more than 10 battles testing that range. So anywhere from the low 400s to the mid 400s. When I swapped out the pieces and went straight for Starwear to add this 10% physical penetration, then my damage went from the mid 400s to the low 500s. So definitely does more damage with the physical penetration than I do with the double attack bonus there. So that's just making sure that you gear your characters appropriately based on their stats and what works well for them. For Ivy, what I found with Ivy, and this was due to one of my guildmates, Meanie, who told me about this.
I'll take care of this.
She's really not here for damage. The damage is a bonus. She's really here for her healing. Her healing is based on her attack. I was putting her in the same Starwear where you've got attack and then physical penetration so that she does more damage. Meanie had brought up that doing what I did with Catwoman, so getting the 8% off of the 2 pieces of Starwear and 8% attack off 2 pieces of the Holt Cyberwear, she's going to do more damage. I mean, she's going to do more healing with that because now instead of having physical penetration, she has an additional 8% of attack. She's going to do more healing, and she doesn't suffer a whole lot for the damage piece. It does come down a little bit. But again, she's really not there for the damage. The damage is a bonus. She's more there for the healing than anything else. So make sure that you have your characters geared appropriately. If you haven't seen my gearing guide, I'll put a link up to it over here if you missed it in the beginning of the video. But that's what I had for you for Combat Cycle. It is a very important game mode. Lots of resources and rewards that you're going to get for it. I'm very excited to see kind of the other bosses that are coming because I know more are coming because in previous tests we had like 4 or 5 different bosses. So really excited about the game and where it's going right now. Very curious. What do you think so far? Of everything that you've seen in this game now, what do you think about the game? What do you think about the direction it's going, the response from the devs? And then with Combat Cycle, if there's any tips or tricks or anything that you have, any best characters that you're really performing well with, share in the comment section below so that everybody, again, benefits. All right, all. That is what I had for you. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. And if you're going to stick around for the Devastator battle, it's coming up. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.